welcome everybody as you're coming in. More people will probably join us. Just to give you a heads up, we are planning to record this event. We certainly hope that at some point you'll join us on video, but if for any reason you're not comfortable joining us on video, feel free to keep that off. And if you don't have access to video, not a problem. But we are so glad that you are here to join us. So Father Smolarski, would you like to start us off?
Well, welcome to this presentation at Campus Ministry at Santa Clara University. Happy you could join us from far and wide. At the beginning, we need the slide for the land acknowledgement. So there we go. We pause to acknowledge that Santa Clara University sits on the land of the Ohlone and the Muwekma Ohlone people, who traced their ancestry through the missions Dolores, Santa Clara, and San Jose. We remember their connection to this region and give thanks for the opportunity to live and work, learn and pray on their traditional homeland. So let us take a moment of silence to pay respect to their elders and to all Ohlone peoples, past and present. Well, as I said before, welcome to this presentation about campus ministry at Santa Clara. There are 6 of us of the entire team who are part of this group this afternoon. My name is Dennis Smolarski. I have been at Santa Clara on and off since 1965 when I came as a first-year student to Santa Clara myself. I was a major in mathematics, and I've been back on the faculty at Santa Clara for almost 40 years, and this is my 3rd year playing the role of director of campus ministry. And just one little tidbit about myself. My spiritual hero is Ignatius of Loyola, who is the founder of the Jesuits. So now I lead off to Elise.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here today. My name is Elise. I am one of the campus ministers at Santa Clara. I've been here for about a year and a half. And my areas of ministry are for our residential students. I oversee our grad students who live in the residence halls called spirituality facilitators. And then I also oversee grad student ministry. My spiritual hero is actually my confirmation saint, St. Clare of Assisi, Santa Clara University, kind of full circle. I went to preschool that was associated with St. Francis of Assisi, and since women aren't always allowed in the men's order, I love that St. Clare created her own. I'll pass it off to Andrew.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew, and I am new here at Santa Clara. I am campus minister for Spiritual Life Communities, which is a small group faith sharing program that we offer. And my spiritual hero is Dan Berrigan, who was a Jesuit priest and a peace activist, kind of a rabble rouser. And a quick story on him: when I was in graduate studies, he was well into his 90s, living in a retirement home near the campus where I was studying. And every once in a while I'd pass by and he'd be sitting on a bench in his mid-90s reading, biography of Martin Luther King, and he was still at it. And I just really admired that. So that's one of the reasons why he's a hero, spiritual hero of mine. I'll pass it off to Father Kyle.
Hi, everyone. I'm Father Kyle, and I am the Faith Formation and Intercultural Ministry campus minister for campus ministry. And in terms of my time at the university, I've been here just a little over a year now. And for me, my spiritual hero, well, I'm going to cheat a little bit because there are probably two. I'm from Hawaii originally, so the two saints we have from Hawaii for me are spiritual heroes, Saint Marianne Cope and Saint Damien of Molokai, because they really dedicated their lives to serve a group of people who had really been abandoned by society, folks that had Hansen's disease on the North Shore of Molokai and Kalapapa. And they're really inspirational example of love and service is something that inspires me. So great to meet everyone. And I'll hand it over now to Carly, I believe.
Hi, I'm Carly Lynch. I've been at Santa Clara I'm in my third year now here, and I work as the campus minister for religious diversity. So at Santa Clara, we are proud to be a Jesuit Catholic university, but we also are so proud to have such a diverse faith traditions on our campus, and it's what makes us a really rich campus. So I get to work with a lot of those student groups and students on campus who may not identify as Catholic or may not even identify with religious or faith traditions at all. And so I love getting to do that work with all of them. For me, a spiritual hero is a woman named Rachel Held Evans. She passed away about 1.5 years ago, but she was an author for Protestant Christian folks, and she was a huge encouragement to me that women could be in ministry and women could kind of be in leadership positions in Christianity and in the church. So she's a big one for me. And I think I'll pass it back to you, JC.
Thank you. So JC stands for Julia Claire, and I either go by both names or both initials. I've been working at Santa Clara for 14 years, and I've done a few different kind of roles in that time, but I'm the current associate director, and that means I kind of get to do a little bit of everything. I'm a dabbler. When I was a Girl Scout, I got all the dabbler badges, which means a little bit of everything, and that's what I like to do in ministry and in life. One of my spiritual heroes recently is someone I kind of got acquainted with more recently. Her name is Maisha T. Hill, and she's an anti-racism educator. And she's someone who is trained in mental health, but is working with especially women to be intentional about navigating privilege. But what I appreciate about the way that she works with those of us who are kind of in this group together is she's always reminding us to practice self-care and to slow down. And that's something I need reminding about every 1 minute because I try to do a lot of things. So she's someone I'm learning a lot about relationships and intentionality from. So she's someone I appreciate. So we want to be able to hear from you. We didn't know how many of you would be here. We know Zoom can be a little bit it's a lot to try and really include people on this platform. So we have a platform where we're going to try and give you a chance to respond. At the top of the slide up here, you can see this menti.com. It's an app we're going to use today for our presentation. If you're able to go on a second device or on a separate window, if you're on your computer, and just open up a browser and type in www.menti.com, it'll ask you to put in a password and the code. And I think Elise is also going to throw this in the chat so it's easier to see because it might be kind of small. It's 8094564. And you can join at any point. But the next few slides, we're going to give you a chance to respond. So if you particularly, thanks for the thumbs up, whoever gave us a thumbs up, we love that. You can react or respond on some of the slides, and on some of them we'll ask you to share a little bit about you so we can get to know you. I think we geared this exclusively for students, and we may have a couple family members on. So if the question doesn't apply to you, you can just sit it out and learn along with us. So let's check out the next slide here. Whoa, we got a lot of likes. That was awesome. All righty, and some love too. Oh, you have no idea how much we need that right now. Thank you. That's really fun. All right, so this is going to be a little bit to learn about you. So basic question, what kind of high school are you in now? Or if you're transferring, did you attend? Great. So we've got some Jesuit schools represented, some public schools represented, and maybe other Catholic like diocesan schools or other kinds of private schools. So kind of a mix of the different kinds of high schools. It looks like there's several folks from public schools. So that's great. Just gives us a sense of like how familiar are people with, say, Jesuit values or Catholic identity, or maybe being involved in ministry from other backgrounds. So it's really great to hear a sense of that. All right, so we'll move kind of quickly. If you miss a question, you can always kind of chime in later. Also, if it doesn't work for you to be on Zoom and on another screen, believe me, that's a lot. So it's totally fine. If that doesn't work and you ever want to respond to one of these slides, you can just type in the chat and we'll read out what you have to say. So this one is, what have you been involved in? Have you been involved in campus ministry already at your high school? If so, a little, a lot, not so much, or definitely? Have you gone on retreats? Is that a part of what you've been involved in before? Perhaps your youth group. It looks like definitely there's a few people who've already been involved in youth group, and service and social justice has been something you've already been involved in. Interfaith, is that something that you've been involved in? So it looks like there's, you know, representation there. It's not the only things that you might have been involved in before that might make you interested in campus ministry in college, but those are just some of the things that we know that a lot of our incoming students have participated in before coming to us, that may just say, hey, I want to know about campus ministry. I've been a leader at my high school or in my youth group, or, you know, I'm really passionate about activism. How do I get involved? And how do I learn about other religions or be involved in that kind of multi-faith and interfaith space? All right, great. So it looks like youth group is the winner on this one so far. And again, it may not be representative of every person in the meeting, but it gives us a little bit of a pulse of where some of you are coming from. All right, this one is free response. If you take a moment to think about what helps you to pray, what helps you to reflect or discern when you are taking time to be mindful, perhaps, what is it that aids you in that? And we want to give you a chance to respond in the ways that meet you. Hardship, being alone, silence, meditation, music, prayer, the rosary, looking at the big picture, walks in nature. It's amazing how it keeps shifting. Taizé music, that's beautiful. If you're not familiar with that, there's an ecumenical community in France called Taizé, where people come together to chant in a contemplative environment. It's beautiful. Peace, calm, family. I'm going to try and read them and they're going to keep moving. So we'll see how good I do at that. Taking a deep breath, silence, the Divine Mercy Chaplet, right? A prayer to really create that intimacy between ourselves and Jesus. Being alone, quiet space, hiking, thinking of Mother Mary, family, music, and the rosary and peace are bigger. That means that several of you agree on that one, right? Journaling, confidence. What I love about something as simple as this, of being able to see that, is knowing that there are some things that many of us share. Like, you're probably not the only one. If you pray the rosary, you're not the only one who likes to pray with the rosary. And yet you might have other things that lead you to prayer or reflection or meditation than someone else. And so in campus ministry, if you're thinking, well, what do we offer? We try to offer the kinds of opportunities for prayer and reflection that meet a diverse set of needs. Clearly, we've got some Catholics in the group, people who went to Catholic high school or Jesuit high schools, or maybe didn't, but your Catholic faith is really important to you. So thinking of Mother Mary, praying the rosary, perhaps going to mass, devotion within Catholic devotions, those kinds of offerings we certainly want to provide. We also want to provide things like chances for you to take a deep breath, to practice meditation and mindfulness. You can see that one growing. Music, we could do a little better with that. I love music to pray, but we haven't, we could up our Spotify game in campus ministry. But we know that that really brings people to prayer. So it's helpful for us to know, well, what helps you to reflect? Because so that we can make sure that we're offering the kinds of things that help you to reflect and to pray. Backpacking. If you haven't heard yet of Into the Wild, those of you who really love nature, hiking, backpacking, Carly is she's not the only person you could talk to, but I know she has led reflections with Into the Wild, which is one of the chartered student organizations on campus that leads people in immersive experiences in nature. All right, so then just a big, broad question, why SCU? What intrigues or interests you about the prospect of coming to Santa Clara University? Give people a chance to respond. May take a few more words to respond to this one, so you have to think about what to say. What is it about SCU? I'm interested in the engineering programs. That's great. We have a great engineering school and a STEM complex being built. The commitment to social justice and integrating faith into the curriculum. Yeah, we are a big fan of that too, and wanting to always get better and better about working in those co-curricular spaces. We have some really great partners in religious studies, and even recently, I know Drew and I have been emailing back and forth with lots of the professors in religious studies saying, you're doing great things in the classroom. We have great things we want to do to partner with you around that. How it's a smaller community. Yeah, you can really get to know people, right? Nice weather on campus. Yes, there's a reason this is my virtual background. Sorry for my hand disappearing there. Psychology research labs and strong faith. Awesome. So the classroom experience and then the culture of the campus, the faith and the opportunity to practice your faith. I want a Catholic education that not only develops an individual academically, but also as a whole. Also, the business school, just the business school. Yeah, it's amazing. Levy School of Business is fantastic. But that sense of holistic care, that's one of our values, right? As a Jesuit institution is the value of cura personalis and care of the individual person, but treating each person as a whole person. Being a part of a supportive community, a relatively small community that's centered around learning and instilling Jesuit values in every aspect of life. I definitely want to go to a religious school. SU has a beautiful campus and I feel like I'm at home even though I'm not from California. That's awesome. The whole community feel. You can start to sense some themes, some values, a sense of community, a sense of place, a sense of belonging. The SU is unique in that the education is based on Jesuit values. There are so many organizations. That's definitely true. I want to continue at a Jesuit high school and I love the strong psychology program. Yep. As well as the Jesuit mission of finding God in all things. I want to continue to grow in my faith. And I enjoy Catholic education and I wish to participate in campus ministry. So all of these are awesome. If you're still typing, feel free to submit that in there. This is just such a great thing for us to hear what really is drawing you and having you consider why Santa Clara, why would you want to be a part of this community? So kind of related to that, regardless of whether or not you've been involved in these kinds of experiences in your high school kind of background, what are the things that you might be interested in? If you were here at Santa Clara, you're part of the Santa Clara community, what would you want from campus ministry? It's funny, it instantly shows what people say. So the first person is like, yes to everything and like, yes to conversations. So as more people respond, we'll kind of see the averages kind of like balance out. The other is there if there's something you don't see that you are like, this is what I want from campus ministry, feel free to type that in the chat so we can make sure to include what you would want to hear about. In a little while, we'll go into small groups. And if you want to hear more about one of these or you want to kind of say, this is what I'm really looking for, you can talk with your campus minister about that. So worship and prayer, mindfulness and self-care, retreats and reflections, small groups, pretty much kind of across the board, interested in all these different things. So you can definitely customize your experience of where to get involved. And you can talk in a little bit more depth in the small groups about what you're particularly interested in. Awesome. Looks like worship and prayer is the front runner. So there you go. Now we know. That's great. I know you've made Father Dennis so happy because that is his passion. Obviously, Father Kyle too. But that's really awesome. And you know, some real creative things have come forth in prayer. We have different services on Sundays right now. We have a Zoom Mass that's kind of more for the older community that is really accustomed to worshiping at the mission. That's on Zoom. Father Dennis is leading, kind of coordinating all the different Jesuits who are presiding in person right now with a social distance in-person Mass. And then we have a liturgy of the word that one of our professors in religious studies is bringing students together on Zoom in the evening. So we're trying to be creative to make sure we meet those different worship and prayer needs. All right, so I think that's it for our little kind of get to know you section. I'm going to pass things over to Andrew to take it away.
Great. Well, thank you for everyone for that participation. It's great to see where everybody's at and what nourishes you, what you're looking for as you think about coming to Santa Clara. So what we're going to do now, we're going to watch just a 1-minute snippet of a 10-minute video that you can easily find on YouTube if you just search the Olive Jesuits. And so some of you said you were at Jesuit high schools, so you're maybe a little more familiar with those Jesuit values. But this little minute snippet here of this video gives you a sense of what it is, what it means to go to a Jesuit school, and what the goal is of cultivating these students to go out into the world. So without further ado, it's called The Olive because it's about this Spanish olive that's the narrator. So that's why you'll see it's fun, it's a little cheesy, but this minute gives you a good snapshot that can then take us into our small groups to do some more discussion about that.
So here we are, 28 Jesuit colleges and universities in the United States alone, where students study philosophy, law, medicine, theology, business, film, engineering, you name it. The scope of disciplines reaches back to a letter Ignatius wrote in 1551, stating that those who are now merely students in time will depart to play diverse roles. Their good education in life and doctrine will be beneficial to many others, with the fruit expanding more widely every day. Jesuit institutions require students to look beyond themselves and to participate in a world that could benefit from their talents. So, wondering where you fit into this picture? Segue! Whether a student, professor, or staff member, you're a part of a unique tradition in education that values critical thinking, social responsibility, and personal development for the betterment of all humankind. This isn't just a place to study, teach, or work. It's a state of being that is constantly evolving in concert with the world of which it is part.
All right, so we're gonna send you off into your small groups with a few prompt questions, and feel free to answer and share any of those questions. Or if you have questions of your own that you'd like to ask your campus minister, things that you're curious about, please include those as well. I'm not sure, on my screen, the questions are a little bit fuzzy. Is that the case for other people, or is that just me?
And I think Elise has popped them into the chat. So if you want to just glance at them there, you could even copy them so you have them in front of you. I need just a second more to make sure everybody's set up to go to a group. And then you're going to be magically beamed into the ether, and you'll land in another Zoom room in just a moment. All right, ready? So I will give you a heads up when you have a little bit of time remaining, and have a great conversation. Welcome back. It looks like some groups are taking a little bit longer than others. Hopefully nobody got cut off mid-sentence. Probably somebody did. That often happens with our lovely breakout groups, but we do welcome you back. 1 second. So we want to do a simple examine. Hold on for just 1 second. I want to see if anyone has any question they wanted to bring back from the small group to the large group before we do that, though. I know this slide says that it's examined, but if you want to react here about how your small group experience was, I don't know if you still have questions, you could do a question mark. If you, oh, I see a heart and a thumbs up already. Very good. All right. 1 second. Awesome. Well, I hope that you had the experience. I see some thumbs up on Zoom. I see them on the screen. I'm glad you had a positive experience of that. We know that there's no way in 45 minutes that we could answer every question that you have, but oh, I see lots more thumbs going up. What we wanted to do more than anything is have you have a chance to meet us and get to know us so that when you have questions about the various programs and things that we do, that you feel free to just shoot us an email, ask, find out what you want to know, because we really want to build that relationship with you as campus ministry. We've got lots of programs, but what's most important is that sense of companionship. You heard Father Dennis say his spiritual hero is St. Ignatius, and St. Ignatius came up with a method of reflecting called the examen that is very adaptable. It can go lots of directions, and Drew's going to lead us in that now. So Drew, take it away.
Great. Well, welcome back again, everybody. So it's good to be with you. Again, this examine is like examining ourselves, right? What's going on interiorly, what's going on with our day. Some of you may be familiar with this, others no. But I like the way, to be honest, that it is phrased in Spanish, right? It's a pause, it's the Ignatian pause. So it's a time just to take a moment, right? Our days can get so busy and we get caught up in so many things. So it's really good to sort of set a rhythm in your day, just to take a pause and see what's been happening and how is God working. So with this pause, let's do that all together with a little silence and breathing together. So deep breath in. Couple more deep breaths. As we recognize the sacredness of our respective spaces, how God is present with us now in this moment, we take a moment to give thanks, right? So allow whatever comes up about, maybe it was this today so far, maybe it was the last 24 hours. What comes up, what emerges as something that you're grateful for? When we name and claim those things that we're grateful for, that give us life, we're more filled, right? We're filled. Gratitude is some like gas, right? It fills the space. So we give thanks for those things that have emerged in our last 24 hours. And we take a moment to, okay, what might that be calling me to? What grace do I need? Maybe to continue that blessing, to allow it to deepen. What grace do I need? Maybe that challenges me to turn more towards God's love. So what grace am I needing right now in this moment? When we ask God for those particular things we need, we're sort of orienting ourselves, right? We're setting ourselves towards growth in our relationship with God, growth in our personal development, growth and in community, in the various communities that we're a part of. So set that intention, right? What would you like to do the rest of the day to be a little bit more aware of God's presence in your day, in your life? So with this little pause, right? It's a pause that you can do on your own, finding gratitude, asking for grace, and setting an intention for the future. 3 simple steps. I invite you to look up Ignatian Examine, because there's various ways that you can do it that might be even more helpful for you. And take time with this. Take as much time as you want with this, because we're a little short on time, a little bit more concise. But feel free, after we're done, after we hang up this Zoom, take a few moments to do another examine of just this campus ministry session, right? If you were to come to Santa Clara, right, is God calling you towards Santa Clara? What kind of environment would be the environment best suited for you, whether it's Santa Clara, another, or any other college that would allow you to grow in your intellectual wellness, in your spiritual wellness, in your physical and overall wellness. So I invite you to take the time to do that when we hang up this call. Hand it back to you, JC.
Father Kyle, you want to take us out?
Great. So thank you everyone for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking the time to learn more about campus ministry. I'd encourage, if you want, take a picture of the screen so you can keep in touch with us. Check out our website where you can learn more about all the different programs we talked to you about, as well as you can find all the contact information for all of us that were here on the call, as well as our other campus ministry team. Follow us on Instagram. We have a number of different ways you can follow us on Instagram, as well as Facebook and YouTube. So we look forward to hearing from all of you soon. Take care and God bless.
Thank you so much.